when I was in the 5th grade, I gathered popsicle wrappers and put them in a big box and sent them off to the company, and I got a chemistry set. 5th grade.
A humble start to study and research for Dr. Gerald Stringfellow.
He goes through bubblers.
Distinguished Professor of Engineering at the University of Utah.
I always like to say that I was born to be an engineer. And then we have the toxic materials.
With him for the journey, Barbara, his wife of 45 years, their 3 children and grandchildren. Raised in Centerville, educated in Utah with a PhD from Stanford, he went to work at Hewlett-Packard on a team to build a revolutionary new device.
In those days, Bill Hewlett had the idea that he was going to make a handheld calculator. We were using slide rules before this time. His idea was we needed a handheld calculator.
But early displays on calculators gobbled up too much energy until Dr. Stringfellow says he found a better way.
The material it sounds very complicated.
And he could manipulate that material.
Gallium indium phosphide.
Atom by atom to produce longer lasting red, yellow, and green light.
This was an absolutely enabling technology. There were no calculators until you could do this.
LEDs, light-emitting diodes. You may not know much about them, but you trigger them every time you put on the car brakes, and your movements are now governed by them at countless traffic signals.
Lights in the most modern semaphores are light-emitting diodes, red, yellow, and green, because they use 1/15 as much electricity. They're more than 10 times lower in usage of electricity.
Eventually, Hewlett-Packard's loss was the University of Utah's gain. As engineering professor since 1980, he's published books, written hundreds of scientific papers, working to set a course for a cleaner energy future.
One of my students went off to a company in California and has built the highest efficiency solar cell using the same materials and in fact using the technology that we developed here at the University of Utah.
Dr. Stringfellow speaks of how to power the world, mindful of his Utah roots raising chickens, vegetables, and fruit, and a home that had no indoor plumbing until his 1st grade.